Good evening. It's a Friday night, and shortly I will be joined by Aaron from Argyle Life Green and White podcast. Now, normally I have got a co-host, but my co-host isn't with me tonight, so it is just me myself. I am in a different room as well as people that watch our podcasts will also see. I've gone around a friend's house and we're having a bit of curry a little bit later on. So all good. So as I continue, just remember where you can find us. You can find us on TikTok, X, or Twitter, whichever one you still call it. Instagram, Facebook, as I've mentioned, TikTok as well. We're on podcasts as well, so Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts from. So not just on YouTube, we are on other places as well. We're sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications. As you can see, he is in the corner somewhere over here, where you can find us, where you can find him. You can do your steel construction, fabrication work up and down the country, but he is mainly based in the Warwickshire and Coventry area. We're also partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena, where you can find us most match days in there as well. So without further ado, let's bring Aaron in. Good evening, Aaron. How are you?
Hello, mate. I'm all right. Not had the best weeks of my life recently, but beyond that, all good.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Well, we're thinking about you anyway, mate. You were thinking
cheers,
about you. So, obviously, you're from Argyle Life.
Yeah,
I believe the Argyle Life Green and White podcast. Is that what it's
Green
called?
and White podcast. Yeah. Don't ask me why they have different names. I've no idea. Not my decision. I was brought in later. Yeah.
Okay.
Green and White podcast by Argyle Life. Yeah. That'll do.
No worries. If you can just let us know where we can find you and what you guys do.
Good question. What do we do? I don't do very much. I just host a podcast. I let the others speak normally. So actually coming on to other people's and getting to talk about Argyle is actually a rarity, and I enjoy it. But yeah, we've got a website, we've got a podcast, we've got obviously on all socials and stuff. You can find us just at Argyle Life 1886, or Argyle.life, or on all your major podcast platforms.
Fantastic. So let's crack straight into it then, shall we? Let's crack on. So the history of Plymouth, Coventry, Plymouth. Our last game at the CBS Arena, we won 1-0. Now, obviously, the big talking point was, did the ball cross the line? That was the main thing that came out of that game. Do you think it crossed the line?
I think we all know the right answer, don't we, Stuart? I think we all know. I think that stroke of luck for you is what's propelled you up the table. I think you being on the right end of decisions and us being on the wrong end of decisions, if my memory serves me correctly, seems about right. Whether the ball was in or out, though, not really the problem. The problem was that we all froze and everybody stopped, and our keeper's got his hand in the air, and our midfielder Jordan Houghton is just frozen still. So whether the ball's in or out isn't really the issue here. It's I'll let you off that. I was over that until you brought that up. So yeah,
sorry about that one. Yeah. So what I watched the highlights of it this afternoon before we come on, and with the highlights, obviously I have slept since then, so I couldn't quite remember how it went, but I just felt that it was a game that either side could have won. We both had kind of half chances, didn't really test the keepers. I think if I remember seeing the stats, you guys were actually up on the stats in terms of efforts on goal, but I don't think you actually really penetrated us and really hurt us. How did you feel for the game going into that?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've been to every game this season bar Boxing Day away at Cardiff, pretty much, and it's not one that I remember that well. I'll be honest.
Okay.
if I remember it rightly, like a 0-0 draw would have been about fair, because I don't think I don't remember either team having like you say complete dominance or looking better. I think maybe you should have won it maybe on like the oh God, words have failed me here, but on on the quality of your chances, maybe you should have been winning that. But I think for me, I would have been happy with that 0-0 draw. But obviously, you had to go and cheat and lambast the rest.
Wow, that is strong words.
Get away with such disgusting foul play and cheating to get 3 points off the mighty Argyle.
Oh dear.
Yeah, like I said, I was over it until you mentioned it. So, yeah,
not bitter at all. Still,
no, not at all. No, genuinely not. But there are other teams in this league that I've got bigger grievances with. I can assure you of that. But yeah, definitely one that I don't remember too well. And not even drinking juice, to be honest. That one.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I think the draw would have been fair.
Yeah, obviously, from my point of view, you know what I'm going to say. I am going to say the opposite. I think it was still in, and it was just the fact that we were at the time we've just changed formation, probably a game or so just before you against Millwall, where we won 3-0, and we'd gone from a back three and we changed to a back four, playing more of a 4-3-3. We were very much more solid defensively, and we were happy, going into that game, I think, with the momentum that we had. Obviously, the dubious calls, I think over the season, in all honesty, that it pans out and it's fair. You get some given.
I hope so. I hope so, because we're due an awful lot of those in the second half of the season. Genuinely, I know I agree that they do even themselves out, but or tend to, but we've got quite a few to catch up on, and hopefully we get one on Wednesday anyway. So that'd be nice. But no, I do remember actually. I remember Liam Kitching playing quite well that night. Obviously, remember him from his time at. I say remember, then I'm going to mess this up. I think he played for Barnsley, right? We played against him last season.
Yeah.
Solid defender. And then you're down your right hand side when you had I'm really bad with pronunciation. Sorry, you had Van
Iwick. Yeah,
Iwick. That would do.
Just call him Milan. It's fine. Milan's fine.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you have Milan, and I'm not even going to try the
Sakamoto.
The yeah, that they were brilliant all night. I remember thinking that they were quite good. I think Milan would be in my. We're toying with podcast ideas of a best 11 from the Championship. We can only pick one player from each team, and Milan is basically nailed on for my Coventry pick. So, and that's purely on that game alone. I thought he was brilliant. So, I think you got the assist as well, right? Is it him that cut it back?
Yeah, it was him that burst down the side and down that right hand side.
It was him that ran off the pitch with the ball, and then cut it back. Yeah, but no, genuinely thought he caused us problems all night down that side. But yeah, good lad.
Cool, excellent. Obviously, we're doing this when we've both got one game still to play before our game in midweek. We're at home on Sunday against Millwall. And you guys are playing away against Sunderland. Obviously, as we mentioned off air, that it's the longest distance in the Championship, or even in the Football League, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, because Carlisle are in League Two and Exeter in League One. They would be the furthest if they were both in the same division. And like I said off air, I can't see either of them making the Championship anytime soon. So I think us and Sunderland are pretty safe as the longest journey. I think any longest journey in the EFL includes us, no matter who's in the league, to be honest. So it's a byproduct of geography. Yeah.
So obviously going into your form, if you like, home. Since obviously we last played, you've won 3. You've lost none at home, and you've drew 2. Away from home, a little bit more different. You've drew 3, lost 2, and only won 1. So your home form coming into obviously this game is a little bit like us. Our home form's really good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Our away form is a little bit more sporadic, if you like, but we have won 3 away, so it's not like we're getting turned over every time that we go away. You have had cup games within that as well. How from the last time that you've played us, has anything changed? Have you changed formations? Because I think you used to play 4-3-3, and now you're playing more of a 3-4-2-1 formation. What are we expecting to see on Wednesday?
I mean, the biggest change is obviously Stephen Schumacher upped and left and went to Stoke. That would be the biggest change, I imagine. And we're granted it's very premature, but we're talking about whether it's an upgrade on one of the best managers we've ever had as a club, in the appointment in Ian Foster. So, which is just madness to say when I think collectively we were a bit dubious when he came in. There's a lot's changed, like in the space of even a month. Even we've lost, God, how many players? It's 7 players. All 4 summer loanees were recalled in January. Some of those to be sold, some of those to go and play or sit on the bench at Villa. Some of those. What was the other one? Who was the other one? Oh God, can't remember. But basically, we've managed to we've basically managed to upgrade on all of those players, bar Finn Azaz. I mean, Finn Azaz is absolutely phenomenal and genuinely one of the best players in the Championship. So to upgrade on him would be near impossible on our budget. But we've managed to upgrade pretty much every player that's left and not spent a penny for that. I mean, obviously you've got to pay loan fees and wages and stuff. I'm not stupid, but actual transfer fee, we've managed to be really lucky. Well, no, not even lucky. I mean, Ian Foster's just got his phone out and just used his England under 20 connections. Where I'm going with this is that Foster was he's been an out of possession coach for various teams in the England setup, and that has shown. I mean, our away form under Stephen Schumacher, as you've already mentioned, was horrific. Nothing short of horrific. I mean, I put out a tweet the other day. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll try and find it whilst I talk, but I'm really bad at multitasking. Is that we like really bad? We have gone an incredible amount of time without an away win. There's been a lot of away games, even under Schumacher, that we've been in, and that we've thought, we've got a chance here. But against Swansea, it's just completely different. We've here it is. When we won at Swansea, it had been 272 days since our last away win, 476 days since our last Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff away win, and then 5,054 days since our last away win in the Championship. I mean, granted, we did spend a bit of time in League Two. That one skewed a little bit, but still, so not. But even the 272 days of not winning away, whilst winning a league title with 101 points, is just absolutely phenomenal. So that just goes to show how good our home form is. Yeah. I can imagine over the last 3-4 years, we are up there with the biggest teams in Europe for home form. We quite literally have to be. Yeah. It is phenomenal on the road, whether it's the distances or whether it's the traveling, and whether we've been doing it wrong and going up on a day early or a day late, or I don't know. Something has changed since Foster's come in. I mean, the first game up at Huddersfield, it's not been like a complete transformation from Schumacher's style, but he's almost taken it, seen what's wrong, and just solidified it. We have a whole new midfield now. Okay. The two before that in Houghton and Randall would have been talked about as our, in our Player of the Season awards. They wouldn't have won it because they're not Morgan Whittaker, but they would have been talked about for it. He's basically scrapped them both, and brought in Adam Forshaw, who was pivotal under Bielsa up at Leeds. I mean, if anybody's good enough for Bielsa, they're good enough for Plymouth Argyle, let's be honest. I'm not going to complain, even though Norwich fans told us that he was done for, he was injured, he was shot. He's played 2 90 minutes already, and he's looked a cut above. Like, he looks like a very top level Championship midfielder, and I suppose in a team of basically, let's be honest, League One footballers, that stands out. So he stands out for us. In a way that he might not have done with Norwich. And we've also brought in Darko JB, who is Leeds signed him for £5 million from Manchester City's youth academy. Again, just looks like effortless on the ball. He might not be getting as much credit from Argyle fans yet, because he does a lot of the positional stuff and the scuttling runs and the left and right, and keeping that midfield shored up. But he is basically, that's it. We've changed our midfield. We've got 2 new centre backs in. Brendan Galloway is finally playing like the player that he used to have the promise to be. Everything's starting to click under Foster, and for some reason it just didn't under Schumacher.
Yeah, obviously you have mentioned players coming sort of in and out as well.
Yeah.
I went on to the January transfer market and I just did the winter window. It looks like that you got 12 in and 12 out. You've already mentioned, obviously, Adam Forshaw coming in. You've also lost, as well as Finaz, Luke Kundle as well, because he played in the last game, the home game. Is he a miss for you at all?
I'm going to be honest, not really. I mean, we were a bit. I was a bit gutted when he left, but there was also like instant talk of him wanting to go back to Villa to be loaned out to Stoke. I mean, Stoke had just come and stolen like our backroom staff and our manager. So it was like, well, if you want to go, fine. But he was never really a huge part of our squad anyway. Like, most of his performances came off the bench. He wasn't a huge miss. And when you turn around and say, we've replaced him with Darko JB, like, it's just there's just levels to this game, aren't there? I suppose you would have seen it, right, in your rise back up from through the leagues. You would have seen that, like, that turnover of player. There's sometimes there's just not time to be emotional about certain players. Like, we've lost Macaulay Gillespie and Matt Butcher, who were brilliant for us in League One. Certain Argyle fans will have different opinions of me, but any member of that squad that got us up, are like genuine legends to me, and like, I love them. And Macaulay Gillespie scored the goal at Chelsea that put us ahead in the FA Cup, and memories like that. But sometimes you just don't have the room to be sentimental, and I assume you had similar coming back up.
Yeah, it's with us, to be fair. I don't know what it is. We've been quite. I think we've been quite loyal with the players that have taken us up. Don't get me wrong, Robbins isn't a sentimental manager whatsoever, really. But we've still got Kelly that was with us in League Two. We've got Godden. Now, we are starting to come to the end of their their reign, if you like, with us, and we are starting to breed a new team, really. So hopefully, if that continues, the players that are with us now will see us, hopefully, if we ever get into the Premier League, in the Premier League. I would like to think that we will get there. The owner certainly wants that. The manager certainly wants that with the players that they've been bringing in. Just staying on the sort of the players a little bit with you guys, injuries and suspensions. I think you've got pretty much a full strength squad, apart from maybe a one suspension in Will Jenkins Davis. Is it? Is he still banned?
He's out on loan at Torquay, so his ban doesn't really affect us.
Right, okay.
Yeah, he scored and got sent off in the same game the other day against I want to say Aldershot, but that doesn't sound right. So basically the only issues we have at the moment are 2 of our players have family issues, and they've been off to deal with those, and I hope they take as much time as they need. to obviously to sort those. And we have a slight injury issue with Mustafa Bundu, who I think played against you up at your place. I think
I think he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Who, to be honest, doesn't seem to be in the picture as much with Foster. But I think that's mainly because we're not really sure where he fits into this team, because he's more of an out and out winger, and we have inside forwards, and if he's to play up top, he has to wait for his chance. Behind Ryan Hardy, and then the other one is Jordan Houghton. And to be honest, at the moment, he's not. I don't want to say he's not getting a look in midfield, because when his opportunities came to playing like the cup games against Leeds and stuff, he picked up a knock. So don't really know where he's sitting. So and the only other one is Michael Cooper, who's going to be out for a few more weeks yet. So no real massive losses. I mean, it does weaken our squad somewhat, but I mean, we had 8 out against Leeds, and that was purely because of whether they were cup tied or whether they were not qualified registered in time for the first legs. So we were very depleted, and we had some young lads on the bench. I mean, Jack Matthews came on and made his debut. I think he's like 17. So I mean, we're not going to be as depleted as we were against Leeds, but we're going to pretty much be at full strength for your visit.
Obviously, bearing in mind that we still have got a game, I believe. Again, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong. It might have gone up actually to 10 yellows. But you've got Joe Edwards, Jordan Houghton, and Lewis Gibson. Are they all 1 card away from suspension, or is it changed now to go up to 10 yellows?
Yeah, I think that's now changed, isn't it? I think they're fine. To be honest, I can't see Joe Edwards has just played the majority of the game against Leeds. I can't see him playing against Sunderland. He might play against yourselves. I can't see him getting a card at Sunderland through not playing. Lewis Gibson might, but I think the rules have changed now. I think they're fine.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right then. So you will pretty much have a full strength squad then, really.
But barring if anybody gets sent off against Sunderland, insert that here. But I think we should be fine.
Excellent, fantastic. So from the start of the season to now, has your expectations changed at all, or are they still sort of? Are you a level fan, or are you an optimistic
at the start of the season? I was just saying, stay up. Doesn't matter how, even if it's by 1 goal difference. Just stay up. Under Ian Foster, I'm looking at the playoffs.
Wow. Okay.
No, that's a lie. That's how some of our fans are taking it. I mean, he's coming. He's been unbeaten, technically unbeaten, because we were beaten in extra time against Leeds, so we're not counting that. He's been unbeaten in the league, unbeaten in his stint with us. I can see that continuing, with maybe not with wins, but with a draw against Sunderland and maybe a draw against yourself, which is what I've predicted. Until we get to the predictions later, and I completely forgot to say that, and I said 2, and I said 2 win. But he's my expectations of the season haven't changed. Stay up. An extra 15 million banked from the new TV deal, which is huge for us, especially in that disparity between us and League One. That should help us pick out some good talents. We'll likely sell Morgan Whittaker in the summer, and that's another God knows how many million, which for us is an absolutely huge amount of money. So stay up, use that money wisely, reinvest. Maybe next year we could be looking towards a top half finish. Year on year progress, right? Do a Luton, do a yourselves in some way. And just eke slowly but surely towards those playoff places. But I think I'm also pretty aware that Argyle are not a big, massive club, and in this league we are a very small fish. And any of those players can be picked off at any point with a few £1 million. But we just need to keep on the track that we're on of year-on-year progression, whether that be a point, whether that be one place, whether that be one new signing that lights up the league. It's just slow but steady, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, that look, we're obviously we've been there. We're probably a couple of seasons ahead of you, just like Brentford and Luton were a couple of seasons ahead of us. So, it's just making sure that you take them small steps. Mark Robbins always says it's steady increments each year. We were quite lucky last year because the year before we found Victor and we found Hamer. And that that for us was the difference. You've found
exactly. I mean, that's what we've got in Finnazaz or had in Finnazaz and Morgan Whittaker and I suppose Ryan Hardy to some extent, maybe not in terms of the fact he's been here since League Two. But I mean, we have those players that like Victor and like Hamer can just be picked off, can't they? Morgan Whittaker, by all accounts, turned down Lazio, who are in the Champions League in January, and that just blows my mind. That we've gone from fighting for our position as a club, like in court, winding up position orders and stuff, to fast forward 10 years, and we're turning down 8-figure bids for Champions League clubs for a player who's currently the Championship top goal scorer and has just won Championship Player of the Month. Like that is an absolute madness.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah, it's I was, to be fair, I think you're a mid-table side, to be fair, and I was expecting it this season. So yeah, you've done. I think you'll be fine. In all honesty, I think when I look at when we first came back to the Championship, I always look at the sort of who I think are the three worst teams, and as long as you can see three worse teams than yourself, you know that you're going to be pretty much okay.
Yeah, that was literally it in our thinking, that like you said, as long as we can just be better than those three, as long as we can stay out of that bottom three, which we haven't been in the bottom three all season. And to be honest, I say it touching wood, but with chest, that I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I do as well. So going into obviously our game, looking at Coventry City from a Plymouth side of things, what threats do you see from us from the first game? Because obviously I know you've mentioned Sakamoto and Milan. Do you see any other threats from us?
I mean, I know that Ben Sheaf has been lighting things up. I mean, he's been nominated for the Championship Goal of the Month alongside Finnazaz, hasn't he? I'm going to be honest. I can't say I've seen a lot of Coventry. I mean,
okay, that's fine.
Covering a whole new league, and covering just having to be like on the ball with one club constantly is hard enough, isn't it? And the distance.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we don't get home in time for Match of the Day or Football League highlights on the EFL like some clubs. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. But I mean, even just looking through the team that started against us, bar what, maybe Matty Godden. I think you've got even Matty Godden's a finisher, right? But like, you've got some incredible talents. And I mean, when we played you looked like people were still tipping you for the playoffs and stuff, and you're like looking at your league table position. You're like how is that squad so low? And then like played you and we're like, oh, lucky bastards, oh well. And, they're nothing special, and I mean, you've proved that completely wrong, haven't you?
To be fair, we were in a little bit of a false position because we were topping charts for XG, XGI, and goals and things like that, but now, from sort of, like I said, the game before you, which was Millwall, we started to take our chances a little bit more. We've solidified the back line, if you like, and gone to a back four rather than playing the back three. Ben Sheaf will be out for the game against you guys. So that's a plus for you. But we have got Victor Torp that we signed in January, and he looks like one hell of a player as well. So, look, even though we are missing, because Sheaf is the captain now as well when Kelly's not in the side, which is most of the time.
You've got Hadji Wright as well. He seems to like slowly, finding his feet as well. So I'm not expecting it to be an easy game. Let's put it that way.
No, I'm not in any stretch of the imagination. Going to a team that you can see that's got good form at home, especially. It's never going to be easy. And I'm one of these, fans that if you win your home games, draw your away games, and you'll be somewhere close to being up there with the top teams, really.
I've just flicked open the game that we played up at your place, and just looking at that lineup, eight of our players that played that day will not start. I can basically guarantee it. I mean, in the fact that Cooper's out injured, Kessler Hayden's returned, Pleguezelo's on the fringes. He was one that I was really excited about in the summer. Genuinely thought he was going to be an amazing pickup, but not quite shown it yet. I mean, I can't see Joe Edwards starting him because of the turnaround in fixtures. I mean, Luke Condell's now at Stoke, Finn Azaz is now at Middlesbrough, Jordan Houghton's again had a bit of a knock, and he's expecting a baby anytime soon, so he might be off on, he might be up there at hospital. And then Ben Waine, I can't imagine Ben Waine will be starting through the middle. So, there's only three there that I could see starting against you. So we will look completely different.
Yeah. Okay. Again, it's going to be a difficult game. It is going to be a difficult game. Predictions. You mentioned that you were going to absolutely turn us over earlier on. No, you didn't. You said we were going to draw. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I think a solid. I think if we can get, I want to say 2 points out of the next two. So whether that's, I'll take a win at Sunderland, and if we lose on Wednesday, it's completely thrown me off that we're playing on a Wednesday. By the way, I don't know why you've agreed to this stupid Sunday, game. But yeah, if we can get 2 points, ideally 2 draws. I know that sounds stupid, but I just want to see us go unbeaten for a little bit longer in the league.
Yeah.
On paper you want 3 points, but for the fact that Ian Foster will remain unbeaten, I sort of happily take 2 draws, whilst points aren't all that at the moment. So, let's say a 1-1 draw against yourselves. We'll go with that.
Okay,
a nice
draw. No, that's fine. To be fair, that's what I was going to go with.
You'll have to change it now. You'll have to pick something else. You can't.
All right, then. Well, I'll go for a 2-0 win then. No, like I said, we've got Millwall on Sunday, and that game was changed because they wanted us on Sky because we're a big side, and they want to see the big teams on Sky. And obviously, we've got you on Wednesday. We've then got the team's just gone out of my head now. I think we're playing Friday as well because we've got Maidstone in the Cup. Preston. Right. We've got Preston on Friday that's been moved to Friday, and then we've got Maidstone in the Cup on Monday. It's an absolute
well, like you said, you're such a massive club.
That's it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what the big clubs do. Definitely. Definitely. But no, I think we're both in agreement that it's going to be a tough game. And I think both teams are going to go at it. I think both teams are going to play football. Do you play more football under Foster than you do under?
I think it's pretty similar, to be fair. I think it's just like tactical positional tweaks rather than we're still at least we seem, under the limited sample size we have, we still seem like we're I hasten to call us a counter-attacking side, but a direct attacking side that like to break, because it's not the Allardycean counter-attack. It's more we are patient with it. We're clever with it, but we like to be direct and very forward. And a lot of that's remained.
Yeah. Okay. Have you got any questions Any questions for us? I'd normally ask Mark. You see, has he got any questions?
Yeah.
But he's not here. So if you got
No,
any questions,
I think the only one for me is just how much of a waste of money is Ellis Sims. I think
look,
like when you look at his, I mean, I've just flashed it up here because I was looking through your squad list and I was like, that's an incredible waste of money. But when you look at it, he's got 4 goals in 30 games. I mean, that's how much did you pay for him?
well, there's rumours that we've played a lot more, but we've probably paid about 3.5. I think. I think it was about 3.5 million. Depending on sort of goal bonuses and things like that, and obviously that's not happened this season anyway. He has he has started off slow. I still think that there's a player in there somewhere because he scored. He scored. For Sunderland, he scored at Hearts. He scored pretty much everywhere else where he's been, bar City. Unfortunately, I think he's suffering with a little bit of confidence just because he's been having chances and he hasn't put them away.
Right.
But look,
I mean, look at his shot map on FootMob. He's had an awful lot of chances, and you're right. He has not been putting them away. I almost feel sorry for him looking at this.
Yeah, I know,
but I almost do.
Well, look, it will. Chances are he might start against you anyway, and he'll probably score against you.
Please do start him, please. Yeah, I'm gonna put him down as my first goal scorer bet now.
Excellent. Yeah. Fantastic. Right, so just coming to the end then. We used to call this section word association, but thank you to Holly. We've actually changed it now. So I've name dropped you, Holly. We've changed it to Quickfire. Okay. So I'll just give you, a couple of words or a word and just give us sort of a 1-word or a 2-worded answer. It can go on longer. I'm not strict on anything. It's fine.
Okay.
So the first one is home park.
Fortress.
Okay, like it. Ian Foster.
Upgrade.
Okay. Bristol City.
Fine.
Okay.
No real rivalry there, to be honest, really.
Okay, no worries. I know it's not the closest one, but it was the closest one in the championship. So
yeah, not from me anyway. I mean, they spanked us 4-1 at their place, so that was quickly forgotten. So
right, okay. Favorite away ground.
Oh, good question. I suppose. Sorry, I know this is quickfire.
That's all right.
There's sort of 2 answers here, isn't there? There's like favorite ground, which off the top of my head, where's the championship table? Favorite ground would be Sunderland.
Okay.
But favorite away day. Oh God, they're all pretty bad, aren't they? I mean, Coventry are definitely not in that equation. I'll be honest.
Oh God.
Well, there's a nice little brewery there by the ground. Favorite away day. Look, so far would be Swansea. Only win away.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one. That was quickfire.
That's all right. And the last one is player of the season so far.
Morgan Whittaker, without doubt.
Okay.
I say without doubt. I mean, Ryan Hardy is a very, 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 very close second, but yeah, £1 million, 16 goals, 6 assists in the championship. January player of the season, phenomenal player.
Yeah, you can't get much better for £1 million, can you?
No. I mean, you could get 3.5 Garrett Ellis Sims, I suppose.
Well, fair enough. You wait. He's going to score a brace against you, like now.
Most probably.
Don't write him off. Don't write him off.
Player, I had in my FPL last season, I basically decided that any player I didn't like or I thought was rubbish, I'd bring them in, and I won various mini leagues because my football knowledge is clearly bad. I mean, yeah, brought in Aaron Ramsdale when he went to Arsenal, and I was like, that's an incredibly stupid decision. Why have you done that? Picked up the most points of any goalkeeper at the back end of last season. So, yeah, basically don't listen to what I've said for the last 40 odd minutes. Been like that.
Fantastic. Right. So thank you very much for coming on. Just before I do let you go, can you just let us know where we can find you guys again?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, all your major podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, all of that jazz. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Argyle Life 1886. We've somehow managed to get the same handle on all of them, which has worked out really well. Yeah, so you can find us there. And everywhere, basically, everywhere.
Fantastic. Right. So when I am recording, don't shoot off and we'll have a quick chat afterwards.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Again, thank you very much for coming on. Just remember, guys, where you can find at All Things Sky Blue, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We are on Spotify, Amazon. We're partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena, and we're also sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications. Thank you very much for coming on, Aaron. Much appreciated. I hope we haven't bored you for too much and too long. And please go and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Much appreciated. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.